You wake up at 5 a.m. You journal, meditate, drink lemon water with chlorophyll, gratitude and anxiety mixed in equal parts. Then you stare at your list of habits, check another one off, and feel that familiar rush. I'm in control. Only you're not. Because if productivity was all it took to become your best self, we'd be surrounded by peaceful, fulfilled high performers. Instead, we're quietly drowning in overstructured lives, designed more for emotional comfort than for real transformation. Let's make something brutally clear. Not all good habits are good. Some of your most celebrated habits, they're subtle saboteurs, posing as discipline, but operating as distractions. Today we expose them, not to create chaos, but to clear the way for clarity. You're watching The Quiet Way. Welcome to Uncomfortable Questions, the kind that move mountains. Let's not mistake repetition for mastery. There's a very fine line between being disciplined and being scared to let go. You claim to be building a better version of yourself, but in truth, you're protecting yourself from the unknown, using good habits as camouflage. Let's break down a few. 1. The hyperplanner. He's always planning, always structuring. He's read every productivity book twice. He builds Notion dashboards that would put NASA to shame. But ask him to do the hard, creative thing, suddenly he needs more structure. This habit of planning isn't about execution. It's about comfort. It gives him the illusion of control in exchange for the price of momentum. 2. The infinite learner. She devours self-help books, watches TED Talks at 1.5x speed, and listens to podcasts while showering. Impressive, right? Except she never acts. Learning became her shield. She delayed real growth by sedating herself with other people's courage. Learning is wonderful, but without action, it becomes spiritual junk food. You feel fed, but you're starving. 3. The mindful escapist. Meditation is powerful. Gratitude journals are healing, but sometimes they're repurposed. Used not to center yourself, but to escape yourself. You're sitting in silence not to face your mind, but to avoid emailing that person. You're grateful for 3 small things, but still ignore the elephant in the room. You're not stepping outside your cozy bubble of inner peace. That's not wisdom. That's just scentless avoidance. 4. The productivity performer. The checklist king. The calendar queen. Wait, grind, sleep, repeat. Everything looks optimized, but results stagnant. Because being busy is a great way to look like you're moving, when you're really just orbiting the same fear of failure day after day. You can tell yourself you're building momentum, but often, you're just perfecting the art of running in place. Here's the heart of the issue. You stopped asking why. Because once you fall in love with your process, you forget your purpose. You confuse motion with progress, busyness with boldness, control with clarity. But the Stoic mind, it doesn't worship habit. It subjects everything, even the good, to scrutiny. Ask yourself today, is this habit still serving me? What would fall apart if I stopped doing it? What am I afraid of facing once I do? And most importantly, am I using this as a tool or a shield? Epictetus once said, "A ship should not ride at anchor forever. It must also set sail." You've been anchored in safety rituals for years. When you sail, you've certainly read dozens of books. But have you ever stopped to think about how much practical knowledge you've gained from each one? Most people excel in theory, but fail in practice. They read books about physical health, but don't practice any sports. They read about healthy eating, but always succumb to the temptation of fast food. They study relationships, but don't strive to improve existing ones or find new and good relationships. They accumulate intellectual fat, but don't put it into practice in life. Go to your bookshelf and look at the books you've already read. Choose one that you really enjoyed and that you would like to read again if you had time. Open that book and stop reading at the first key point for your evolution. Now, your mission will be to put this learning into practice, into real experience. In this way, the positive aspects of the habit of reading will become reality and cease to be just a fruitless idea. A man can seek to improve his cinematic experience by developing the habit of consuming deeper and more substantial productions. This is certainly a good step, but let it not become a prison. Deep down, he will always carry within him a desire for simplicity, for joy, and to prevent this from being lost, it is necessary that the new habit does not create a prison. Rest can complement work. A story can synthesize a philosophical lesson. A comedy can teach how to face great challenges. The same Rocky movie, watched as an intense fight of a hero in childhood, can be the motivational awakening of an adult facing his challenges. All truth leads to God. May the habit of eating well not limit you to a life without pleasure in food. May the habit of reading not transform you into a walking encyclopedia without results. May the habit of practicing sports not prevent you from enjoying a week of rest in a peaceful place. There is something to learn in every situation. A completely rigid life, due to a fixed structure, can end up limiting the development of skills, the pleasure of moments, and the evolution of the soul. In early childhood, the child becomes accustomed to being fed by parents. Naturally, this habit is replaced by that of feeding oneself. Gaining autonomy creates new habits. Similarly, this evolution continues into adulthood, making it necessary to pay attention to habits that need to be discontinued or replaced. Let's be clear, we're not telling you to abandon discipline. We're not glorifying chaos. We're inviting you to elevate your awareness, to shift from automatic man to intentional creator, from habit slave to habit master. Here's how to begin. Break one routine on purpose. Just one. Maybe tomorrow. Don't journal. Write a poem instead. A messy one. Or say nothing. Sit in silence without logging it. Skip your productivity playlist and work in silence. Feel every second. See what's actually coming from you. Reclaim the discomfort. Reconnect to risk. Because growth is not polite. It doesn't fit in boxes. It shows up in the friction between who you are and who you could be. Sometimes, the most radical form of growth is to simply say, I'm done performing progress, and actually move. When good habits become rigid roles, you lose the freedom to evolve. Today, do this. Break the routine thoughtfully. Challenge the ritual bravely. Create intentionally. You're not a checklist. Your potential in motion. Habits should amplify you, not define you. You don't need more systems. You need to return to the still, quiet awareness that you're allowed to change. Because here, that's the quiet way. If this message shook a little something inside you, don't just save the video, apply it. And if you know someone trapped in a prison of good habits, quietly send this to them. Maybe they need to hear it without knowing they do. Subscribe not for dopamine, but because you're ready to walk the quiet path with others who see the world differently. See you in the next one. Bring your mind. We'll do the rest.